In this video, we'll move on with the ad group setup options, and we'll talk about ad placements and delivery options. So let's jump straight to the ad group creation pane and see where we can find these options. So first of all, when you create any ad group, it will have certain placement and delivery options. But those are kind of hidden, so it's important for you to know them. Now, automatic placements means everything. It doesn't say it like that, but it means everything. And it says use automatic placements to maximize your budget and help show your ads to more people. Facebook's delivery system will allocate your ad sets budget across multiple placements based on where they are likely to perform best. So it kind of means everywhere, but it also kind of doesn't. So let's just first discuss the automatic placements option. So what automatic placements does is it starts to test everything, and over time it shows your ads on the placements that are more likely to get you the desired result. So this will be your optimization event and your campaign objective, the way you set it up. But it generally means that your ads are going to show on all these different ad placements in the beginning, and it's going to be some time before they actually start showing on the right placements. So the longer you run it, the better it becomes. But if you have a fixed size audience, you may exhaust that audience before that happens. So keep that in mind as well. And you generally want to use it only for large audiences, and you definitely want to use it for evergreen audiences and remarketing audiences, right? For remarketing audiences, you generally want that to stay because you want to figure out kind of how you want to let Facebook's algorithm do its job and get you the best performance, really. Over a long period of time, it's definitely going to work. But for a small audience, definitely not, because it's just going to mean everything. For a small audience and in a fixed size audience, it means everything. And so we have some other options, which are the manual placements. So here we can see what everything means. Now, the first thing I should mention about this is that it is subject to change. Right now, there's 15 placements that support asset customization or whatever, but the important piece of information is they are 15 now. Sometimes Facebook add and remove them. So at the time when you create your campaign, they might be 14 or 17. They change, and that's fine. And you should be following their development because they are very important. Your placements are basically where your ads appear, and that's why you should know where your ads are likely to appear. To just be sure that they look good and that that it makes sense for them to appear there. So first, they are separated into categories. Those would be feeds, stories, in-stream, search, messages, in-article, apps, and sites, right? Those are the categories. They are also subject to change. So let's start with the feeds. We have the Facebook newsfeed, the Instagram feed, the Facebook Marketplace, Facebook video feeds, Facebook right column, Instagram Explore, and the Messenger inbox, right? Those are these placements. I am pretty sure that you know all of them, so I won't be going over each and every one of them. Now, it is important, however, for you to consider how these different placements work. For example, the Facebook newsfeed ads are kind of larger, significantly larger, but people they are less time on the screen, right? If I am scrolling through a Facebook feed and I see something, even though it's big, it's maybe going to attract my attention, but if I scroll out of it, it's not going to be on my screen anymore. Same for the Instagram feed and the Facebook Marketplace. But let's say the Facebook right column, these ads that you see here to the right, once they're loaded, unless you refresh the page, they're going to stay there. So they are staying on the screen longer, even though it's not where people's attention is focused, they can still see them for a longer time. And depending on what you want, that might be an important thing to consider. And the Messenger inbox, of course, is a completely different beast, because people do check their messages pretty much maniacally. So it's a disease, notification sickness, we call it. So next we have stories. You have Facebook stories, Instagram stories, and Messenger stories, which I'm pretty sure you're familiar with. And if you're not, you just need to install Facebook and Instagram, and you will be you will familiarize yourself with them very, very quickly. Now, InStream is also very, very cool. These are ads that show inside of the Facebook stream videos. So if someone is looking at a video right now, that video will stop. They will see the ad, and then they will continue on with their video. They're similar to the YouTube InStream ads. They're basically coming from there. You have the Facebook search results, which is pretty much one that I don't really like, because if I'm using the Facebook search result, you should be creating an ad that's specifically meant to be searched for and kind of be an answer to search results. So you need to have a special ads for these placements. And generally you want to turn that off because when people are searching for something or someone or some specific page, you're going to show them your ad, that you're going to pay for that impression, but they're still going to click on the thing that they're searching for. So unless they're searching for you specifically, you don't want to be showing these ads. And especially that's kind of one of the downsides of the automatic placements, but it quickly falls off anyway. Now, messages is the next one. This will be the Messenger sponsored messages, which kind of appear like that. And you have the in article, which is inside of the Facebook instant articles, and you have the apps and sites where you have your audience network, native banner, and interstitial, which I honestly don't know what it is. And you have your audience network rewarded videos and your audience network in-stream videos. So what does this audience network mean? The audience network is basically all of Facebook's partner websites that Facebook has the ability to show ads on. And also here, when you select these options, you can manually go and select each one you want, but you can also, let's say, remove the audience network. And as you can see, that's just going to remove these three over here. And if you do, let's say, remove Messenger, it's going to remove just the Messenger ones. And so you can maybe select just Facebook or just Instagram and kind of control your placements in this way. And as you can see here, that's just going to leave the Instagram placements over here. So these are just kind of categories of the placements below. And here you have a select all button that will just put all of them there. Now that's dangerous. Do not do that. Because if you select manual placements and select all the placements, you're not going to get Facebook's optimization from the algorithm. So you're just gonna keep showing your ads wherever and whenever you can, and this is a sure way to have an inefficient campaign. So do not ever try that. It's bad. Unless you're just trying to spend the most money or have the most impressions, right? If you really know what you're doing, you can maybe use that, but I would still go with the automatic placements in the case that you are selecting all of the placements. Now, generally what people do is they exclude the audience network in the beginning, and they don't use the Messenger if they don't have specific ads for the Messenger. But you can include them. Generally, people run with just Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to expand your audience, then you can include the audience network. As you can see, it does change how many people you can reach, but it's not a big amount. It's the audience network for Facebook is not that big. It's not like the Google Display Network where it's a huge network. And Messenger kind of is also quite small. So you're pretty much reaching the same people, but you are reaching them in different places. So if you can reach people on Facebook and Instagram, Messenger is just kind of not going to change your reach. It's actually, as you can see, going to reduce it because Messenger ads are a little bit more expensive than feed ads, right? Also, you need to know that each of these placements has its own CPM, right? They have different prices because of different competitiveness levels, right? The Facebook auction is determining competitiveness based on the number of advertisers who are competing for a certain ad. They don't have kind of this quality score mechanism that Google Ads has, so they're just pricing based on competitiveness and kind of more competitive placements have a higher price, of course. Now, moving on to optimization and delivery, or the so-called delivery options. Now, 99.9% of the time, you are going to be using conversions, right? Because this is kind of what action are you optimizing for in terms of delivery. Delivery means who you are showing your ads to, and then saying conversions means I want to show my ads to people who are most likely to complete my conversion event, which I have selected over here, right? That's pretty much what that says. Now, of course, this is a master's course, so we'll show you all the other options. Now, you have value, which is not available to new businesses, and you need to verify your business to use it and spend several weeks following Facebook's policies. So if you do violate the policies in the beginning, it might take you longer to get that option. And this will just allow you to use the customer lifetime values and the purchase values of your customers, just like I showed you when we talked about the different cost controls. So value is over here. Then you can also optimize for the delivery in terms of landing page views. Now that does, however, have a huge impact on your ads because, as you can see, your results will appear in the results and the cost per result. So if you select landing page views over here, your results will not be the purchases but the landing page views. So you're going to try and be optimizing for more and more landing page views, but your conversion event is going to be purchases, right? The goal of the campaign is purchases, but your actual optimization for ad delivery is landing page views. So what this means is that there's a conflict in the optimizations that Facebook is trying to do. On the one hand, Facebook is trying to show your ads to people who are more likely to click on your ad in the first place and then convert. And the other option would be to show your ads to people who are more likely to convert overall, but not so important for them to click on your landing page. So generally, the best way is to keep those the same. So go with conversions. Now, if you want to run a traffic campaign and you really want people to get to your landing page, then you can select landing page views. There's also some other options where you have link clicks, impressions, and daily unique reach. Now, out of those, they kind of work in different ways. First of all, link clicks will show your ads to people who are most likely to complete the link click. Link click means like, comment, play button. Any click that they can perform on the ad is considered a link click. A link click is external links only. So that does not count actually the likes and the shares and the comments. Sorry about that. Very important. Impressions means that your ads will get to as many people as possible. So you will exhaust your audience as quickly as possible. So just show it to everyone as quickly as can be. and that there is no actual clarity whether Facebook is going for the lowest cost and kind of show it to everyone as soon as it's cheap enough, which is probably not what they're doing, or just show it to everyone as quickly as possible, regardless of the price I'm going to pay, which is not a good option most of the time. That's why people don't use it, I guess. And daily unique reach means that you will be showing your ads to people up to once a day. So this will kind of also quickly run through your audience quickly, but they will see your ads once a day. Now, again, for the same reasons, for very large audiences, this means that Facebook is going to try and show your ad to the people regardless of the auction price, and you're going to end up paying more. So this is why generally these three options are not very good. And that's why 99% of the time you're just going to be optimizing for conversions. Now, there's also here you have your cost controls, which are part of the delivery options as well. And you also have your conversion window. The conversion window is also important because this is kind of how Facebook determines the amount of conversions that they show in your reports. Now, it can be 7 days after clicking or 1 day after viewing, and you can also change that to 1 day after clicking, 7 days after clicking, and 1 day after clicking or viewing, and 7 days after clicking or 1 day after viewing. Now, generally we don't use these two unless you really want people to click, but you're free to use them. There's two ways to think about this. So 1 day after clicking or viewing is more kind of more serious, more targeted. What happens is that you count a conversion and attribute the result to this specific Facebook ad if within this 1 day of clicking on that ad, the person has completed the action. So that will count a conversion if the person clicks on your ad, comes to your website, maybe increase the camera size for this. So person comes to your website, checks it out, bounces, leaves, does their research, goes, checks the reviews, reads, checks all the competitors, does whatever they need to do, and then within 1 day, they come back to your website and purchase. Facebook is going to count that as a purchase that was made through that ad. If you do, you can generally increase that period to 7 days after clicking or 1 day after viewing. Now, this is quite important, and another reason for you to select the clicking would be sorry about that, would be for remarketing campaigns, because what generally ends up happening is that you run remarketing campaigns to a lot of your customers, and they're gonna go through an impression, and let's say you have that same scenario, and let's go with 1 day after clicking. So a person comes to your website first without seeing a Facebook ad, and then they go and enter the consideration phase. They have not seen any of your awareness Facebook ads, right? That's quite important. So they find you on Google or on YouTube. They come to your website, and then they start researching you. Maybe they open up Facebook, they want to check out your Facebook page, they want to see if you have reviews, maybe check out the competitors, see what people have to say about you, and then they see a remarketing ad. Or maybe if they need to consider it for a few days, they just open Facebook in the middle and kind of chat with someone or scroll through the feed to see the cats. And then they see a remarketing ad, which is what you're doing for everyone who visited your website in the last 30 days. And then Facebook is going to count that sale for themselves. That's why if you are running remarketing campaigns on Facebook, it's very likely that they're going to attribute a lot of the sales to these Facebook campaigns. So the way you control that is by using these options over here. Now, the general line of thinking and reasoning behind why people use 7 days after clicking or 1 day after viewing, or kind of the broadest option, is to accumulate more data faster. That's kind of the big reason behind it. And it pretty much says count as much as you can. And this is not bad at all. Generally, 99% of the time we use this one. If we already have a lot of data about the account, then we switch it to 1 day after clicking or viewing to have more accurate data in our Facebook ad accounts. And last but not least, here you can see when you're charged, whether you're being charged for an impression or a click, and what's your delivery type, which can be either standard or accelerated in some cases, which depend on the cost controls and your objectives over there. Right. So that's pretty much everything that you need to know about the Facebook placement options and the optimization for ad delivery. And I'll see you guys in the next video.